All right, what's up, everybody? I think there's a few people here. So I'm TJ Verneri. I'm the wide receivers and tight ends coach for the Memphis Showboats. All right, so I'm just going to go through my 5 scenarios you're always free to operate. And this is anybody that's running a route on the perimeter, obviously wide outs, tight ends, running backs extended. This applies to all those positions. So it's a clinic in route running play and all those different things. All right, so 4 points here in your checklist. Okay, vertical stem and cushion. When I'm running a route, those are the first two things I have to think about. Does my route have a vertical stem? Am I going against a cushion defender? Okay, vertical stem route. So goes, curls, basics, all those different things. They are about speed. They are about winning at the location. They're about winning at the catch point. Okay, our non-vertical stem routes. So drives, shallows, flat routes, all those different things. Those are about manipulation. Those are about winning after the catch. So once you compartmentalize that context for those routes, okay, you can have a better understanding of how you're trying to win and how you're trying to get the football. Okay, so I use this example, right? It's just a curl flat example. Okay, as you can see right here, curls have vertical stems. Okay, curl routes have vertical stems. Now, am I going against a cushion defender? That means I own your release. You have to roll off of your front foot. You don't want to false step. Okay, when Usain Bolt and all these great track runners are in the blocks, okay, are they moving the first foot first, or are they pushing off of that foot to move the back foot first, and they're firing off that way? So again, when you run in the blocks, you look like this. Okay, when you take off, you're pushing off of this foot to propel the back foot forward. Okay, so you don't want to have false steps. So that's why it's important to talk about these vertical stem routes. I own your release. Okay, in theory, you don't want to false step. You don't want to waste time and speed in your takeoff. Okay, a flat route. Okay, it's a non-vertical stem route. You have the freedom to operate. Your first steps don't matter. You have to do whatever it takes to get width before depth. Okay, as you're going across the field in a non-vertical manner. Okay, so I like to show this example right here. Once they get it to play, whoops. Okay, once they get this to play right here, check out the number 2 receiver. Okay, check out the number 2 receiver here at the top. All right, I'll highlight him. So I get my touch screen to work. Okay. Okay, so right here, everybody check out this dude right here. Okay. I'll let this play. Okay, so this receiver right here, the number 2 receiver, he's running an under route. He's running a route with a vertical stem. He's going against a cushion defender, which means he cannot false step off the line of scrimmage. He needs to roll off of his front foot. See how his front foot is barely moving. He's pushing off of that front foot, and he's pushing off of that front foot to get his motion, get him going vertically. He wants to attack his defender vertically. Okay, that's the most important thing. If that front foot, okay, were to move, if that front foot were to move initially, he'd be losing time and speed, okay, as he comes across the field into his route. Okay, so we don't want that first foot, okay, that front foot to move. We want to push off of that foot, okay, to get us into our vertical stem phase, which is critical on this under route right here. Okay, as you can see right there. So that's our checklist. So we talk about vertical stem routes, okay, and cushion, and then non-vertical stem routes. We always have the freedom to operate, which again I'll continue to touch on as we progress the presentation. So it's the 5 scenarios. Okay, it's the 5 scenarios you are always free to operate, which means within these 5 scenarios, okay, you can do whatever you want off of the line of scrimmage. Okay, so scenario 1. Okay, scenario 1 is press. When you are getting jammed, okay, your route doesn't matter. You can run a curl route against press. Okay, that means you have the freedom to operate off the line of scrimmage. You can work a release, you can foot fire, you can sing release, you can double release, you can work the Brandon Marshall, you can speed release, all these different things. Okay, you can't worry about pushing off of that front foot and false stepping, because being jammed, having a defender in your face is going to require you to false step. So a false step is okay against press coverage, is what I'm trying to make the point here in this first scenario. Okay, so check out the top of the screen right here. Once I can get my touchscreen to cooperate with me a little bit better. Okay, so check out Amari Cooper here at the top. Okay, he is going to work, Okay, he's going to work a variation of a whip route, okay, against man coverage. Okay, he is working a non-vertical stem route, and it just so happens to be against press. So he has a double whammy freedom to operate right now. Okay, so check out the top of the screen. Okay, he's working his release. He's knifing in inside. Okay, as you can see, that front foot, okay, it doesn't go forward initially. He's coming to balance. Okay, the most important thing when you're releasing against press coverage is when you come to balance, you must do something. Okay, you can't just come to balance and remain stationary. So what we mean by coming to balance is when we freeze the frame, okay, right here, okay, his body is now square. His feet are shoulder width apart. They are even. It looks exactly like this, okay, as it does in the picture. He has come to balance. His right foot and left foot are even. Okay, but what he does is, okay, he works a jab out to go in move. Okay, so you can call this a form of a foot fire. You can call this a form of a speed release, whatever you really want to call it there. Okay, but he's jabbing out to go in. Okay, and he's winning. Okay, by going inside and then working back at the top. But the most important thing is Amari Cooper understands, okay, that he has the freedom to operate. He can do whatever he wants off the line of scrimmage because, number one, his route, which I'll get to, is a non-vertical stem route, and he's going against man coverage. If he was running a fade, okay, Amari Cooper would still have the freedom to operate because he's getting pressed. Okay, he may have to come to balance and foot fire off the line of scrimmage. He may have to come to balance, work a foot fire, sell slant move, and then fade out. All those different things. So all that means is when you're getting jammed, okay, you can't tell a receiver, okay, that they have to roll off their front foot. Otherwise, they're running to get covered. They're running into contact. The biggest thing that I always like to talk about is don't run to get yourself, don't run to get captured. Okay, but enough to capture the defender. I know it's kind of ambiguous in those things. You want to attack a defender vertically, and obviously it depends on the route, but you don't want to run that he can capture onto you. So never run into fully engaged contact is the biggest thing. So that really covers that example right here. A scenario two, and I'll actually let this clip play out real quick because it is pretty sweet. You can see right here, okay, he's working the Viper route, the slant return, and scores a touchdown. Okay, great clip there. Okay, the second scenario. So we've addressed our checklist, okay, which is vertical stem and cushion and non-vertical stem routes. So that's our checklist. Scenario one is pressed. When we're getting jammed, we can always do whatever we want off the line of scrimmage. You are free to operate off the line of scrimmage against press coverage. Okay, scenario two is cloud. Okay, cloud coverage, okay, is cover two. You can play against a team that's playing cover six, a team that's playing Tampa 2, all those different variations of cloud coverage, a team that's playing three double cloud, all those different things. When you're getting cloud coverage, okay, corners in cloud coverage are 4 to 5 by 2. Okay, cloud safeties, they get depth and then they must declare their half. Okay, they get depth and then they must declare their half. Okay, so this example right here of Tyreek Hill, I really like. I'll point him out right now. Let the clip roll a little bit. Okay, I'll tell you obviously. Okay, right here. Here's Tyreek Hill at the bottom. Okay, what the New York Jets are doing, they're not playing cover two. They're not playing any variation of cover two. This is single high, cover one. He's manned up. He's manned up. Everyone's manned up, cover one. Okay, but what I love this clip, what I like about this clip is Tyreek Hill is going through the process of cloud converting. Now, maybe the Jets in their game plan week, maybe they had some cover two disguises, is my guess. And obviously, I didn't game plan this game. I didn't watch the all 22 of every clip in this game, but this clip is super critical, right, in this route technique, and that's why I have it. So maybe the Jets played a cover one shell and then they ended up bailing into cover two, and they had, I don't know, maybe they had on their scouting deal, this dude drops out, he kind of plays this half, he starts to sink and funnel, and this dude starts to sink and funnel. Maybe that's what the Chiefs saw. So Tyreek Hill in his head, he's like, oh, okay, when I go into this week, I should have a plan when I get this cover one shell. Okay, maybe that's their key disguise. Okay, whatever D&D. Okay, the biggest thing here is he wants to attack half the man. So let's say, okay, for argument's sake, this corner was 4 to 5 by 2. Okay, right here, 4 to 5 by 2, and he's funneling in. He's 4 to 5 by 2. He's playing the flat cover 2. Okay, what Tyreek Hill wants to do is he wants to attack half the man. He wants to attack the outside shoulder, okay, of the cover 2 corner. and then he wants to hint step vertically, okay, and maintain that red line. Okay, the red line is a little bit different in pro ball versus college, but it's always the distance, half of the distance between the numbers, okay, and the sideline. So again, putting that in perspective, the numbers in the pro game is a little bit tighter than the college game. But what you want to see right here is you want to see the receiver attack half the man, okay, and get outside. If again, you can slip and dip a cover two corner. It just depends on who you're going against. If you're going against a guy like Josh Norman, who's really going to sink, you probably have to slip and dip him. Okay, he's going to get really wide, and then you'll be here, and then working inside and staying straight and trying to win on that red line there. Depends on if you're going against, I don't know, a Sauce Gardner and all those different things. Just depends on how that corner plays the flat in cover two. Okay. Well, what you see right here in this process, okay, I will stop the annotation. Okay, what you'll see right here from Tyreek Hill at the bottom, okay, is he's going to attack half the man and maintain that red line. Okay, he is false stepping off the line of scrimmage because he knows he has to attack half the man. You see a very subtle hint step from Tyreek Hill right here. Okay, he's attacking half the man, he's getting wide, and then with his left foot, he's going to really pronounce that hint step to keep him straight. Okay, and all the hint step is, okay, as we get back to the annotation, okay, right here, I'll pause it right there. Okay, all the hint step is, right, he's working to attack half the man, and then he's snapping this thing off with that outside foot. Hint steps can happen with either foot, just depends on the route. Let's say he was running, okay, a basic. Okay, the hint step would occur, okay, with his right foot to come vertically, and he's coming across the field, square cut, speed cut, whatever the case may be for the offense. But that hint step is critical, and the quarterback needs to see those things. Quarterback doesn't have eight eyeballs to see everything that's going on. So the biggest thing is let your routes, pronounce your routes like words, speak to me is the biggest thing. So every time a QB feels you break on your route, you define that line, you chop at the top, you define where you're going, the QB can feel you get open. And that's the biggest thing for a quarterback is they want to feel you get open because their progression might not take you back there. Their progression might be late in getting to you. Just depends on the concept. Okay. So this is a great clip. And I love this. I know it's not a cover two look, it's a cover one look. Okay, but you see Tyreek Hill go through the process, right, of cloud converting, of attacking half the man. He's hint stepping vertically, okay, and he's maintaining that red line and getting the DB stacked, right? And he catches this ball right on the red line, which we've defined as halfway between the numbers and the sideline, which again, the QB threw him there a little bit. Okay, it all depends on the ball, but you want to maintain that red line so that you can be thrown open to either side. It just depends on the look. All right, so that's scenario two. Scenario three. So now we've established, okay, press, you can do whatever you want off the line of scrimmage. Doesn't matter the route. Okay, work a foot fire, work your release. Okay, cloud converting. Okay, you want to attack half the man. And again, the previous clip was a cover one clip, but this is very specific for cover two. So again, you have a curl route, maybe or comeback that converts. Okay, when you're cloud converting, you want to attack half the man, hence that vertical and maintain that red line. But that's going to require you, okay, to not roll vertically off the line of scrimmage. Okay, it's going to require you to false step to get width before depth. Okay, so scenario three, motion. Okay, when you're set in motion, all different things can happen. We have motions that are on the run. We have motions that are stationary. We have motions that are short, and you kind of have to chop your feet. At the end of the day, in theory, your feet are not going to be set in motion, which means if you're set in motion to run a curl route, okay, your feet might not be set. So you might not be able to roll off the front foot to attack that defender vertically. You might end up spraying. You might end up outside releasing, okay, to get into the picture of where you need to be in the progression. So that might require a false step to get your shoulders square to your landmark. I like using this clip because I coached in the CFL for 2 years. Okay, the CFL is 12 on 12. The field is wider, it's longer, but everyone's set in motion on every play, as you can see. So no one's feet set ever when they're set in motion, all right, in the CFL. Now, if you're an on-the-ball player, okay, you might be a little bit stationary like these guys right at the end here. He's stationary, but you have 6 eligibles. These dudes are all in motion. Sometimes the running back, okay, can be extended in motion, okay, but there's a lot going on here. Same thing goes for 11 on 11. Okay? If you're set in motion across the formation, so you're trying to work concept that a receiver runs to the flat, your feet are not going to be set when you're on the run because you're on the run, which means you can do whatever it takes okay, when the ball is snapped, okay, to get to your landmark. The route is about winning after the catch now, okay, because you're sent in motion. Again, it depends. For that example, it was a flat route, okay, but that's the case there. So when you're sent in motion, okay, you can do whatever you want off the LOS. Your first steps don't matter, even if it is a vertical stem route, because you've been sent in motion and you are not stepped. So you cannot roll vertically off of your front foot. Okay. Oops. Okay, so that's our first three scenarios. We have two left. Okay, scenario 4, run blocking that requires you to go now. I know the biggest thing is everyone talks about outside zone and all those different things, right? When you're coaching up perimeter blocking, let's say you're locked for the corner, right? That's a vertical stem route. Okay, that is a vertical stem route. You have to roll off the front foot. Okay, if you're going against a cover 4 corner, that's vertical stem and cushion. I own your release. Okay, you have to roll off the front foot, meet the defender, okay, halfway, and then take him where he wants to go once you engage at the contact point. So that's the biggest thing there. What happens if you're blocking inside zone? Okay, what happens if you're blocking inside zone? You have to knife in for the run and have your tail in the hole. It doesn't really matter where the defenders are in this picture because you have to knife in for the run. So that's an example of run blocking that requires you to go now because you have to go now. You cannot attack the defender vertically anymore. You have to knife in for the run. I know a bunch of times when I'm putting in my corrections and all that post game, okay, I'm typing in, hey, knife in for the run. It's inside zone. Okay, you have to have your tail to the hole because you need to give the back a read for a potential bounce. You have to give, okay, the running back a read. Okay, so that's the biggest thing there. Whoops, let me get to my next clip. Okay, so right here, this is from the Super Bowl in 2019. So everyone check out right here. Okay, Deebo Samuel, they're working a pin pull right here. Okay, the Niners are doing a pin pull scheme, which all that requires right now, okay, is that Deebo Samuel, he can't roll off the ball vertically and just block somebody. He has to shuffle, okay, and he has to pin the end man on the line of scrimmage, which requires him to go now. He cannot roll vertically, okay, off of his front foot. He can't do that. He has to go with before depth to get into his final location to make his block. Okay. So as you can see right here, okay, halfway happens a lot sooner when you're pressed. So all he does is work a shuffle to try to pin the end man. Okay, we can look at this one from the tight, but as you can see right here, Deebo Samuel understands within the scheme, I can't roll vertically off the line of scrimmage. Okay, meeting the defender halfway. Okay, when we talk about meeting the defender halfway, it's the coaching point on stalk blocking. Okay, when you have a vertical stem and cushion, okay, excuse me, when you're blocking your defender, a vertical, when you're blocking vertically with a cushion defender, okay, it's a vertical stem route. Okay, it's a vertical stem route and cushion. You want to meet the defender halfway. So if the defender's at 8, you're going to start your shuffle probably at 4. Since Deebo Samuel is getting pressed right here at like 1 yard, halfway is going to occur pretty quick at half a yard. So off the line of scrimmage, Deebo Samuel is going to really have to work to get an outside fit, and basically it becomes a short reach like you're playing tight end. Okay, but you can see that right here that Deebo Samuel understands the scheme, okay, because he knows immediately he has to do whatever it takes to get outside. Now, within his responsibility, could he have pinned the outside guy or the inside guy? Who knows what was getting coached up in that scheme? But Deebo Samuel understands that he has to get a pin, which means that he has to be with before depth, which means he has to go now. He cannot roll vertically off the line of scrimmage. Okay, so those are our 4 scenarios. We got one more. Okay, one more scenario. Specific routes. Okay, it goes back to the very beginning of the presentation. Okay, we talked about vertical stem and cushion, and then we talked about flat routes. So there's all kinds of different routes. Okay, you just have to memorize that you have the freedom to operate all the time. Okay, the first one is a drive route. You're just running across the field. You have to jab out to go in, okay, to get your body, okay, square to your landmark. This route is about catching after location. You have to jab out to go into stair step to get to that same location. Okay, if you're in a car chase, are you going to just run straight? Okay, or are you going to try to wiggle all around and try to get the person trailing you to get off your tail? Okay, so that's the case right there. When you're running a flat route, okay, it's width before depth. You have to go now. Okay, so you might have to jab out to go, or excuse me, jab in to go out. It's the reverse there. You may have to drop step to get your shoulders square to your final location because you don't want to be rolling vertically up the field. You'll be running to get covered. Let's say there's a cloud corner right there. Okay, you want to be going with before depth so that whatever concept you have here, you're putting him in conflict, whatever the case may be. Okay, so that goes for our specific route scenario. Okay, I have a clip here from LSU in 2019. And you can see right here, they're working a concept I call branch. So you got the stick routes from the outside guys. Okay, they can make their man zone assessment. And then the slot receivers, they're just going now to the flat. Okay, keep your eyes on Justin Jefferson. I think Justin Jefferson knows a thing or two about routes, multiple time Pro Bowl receiver. Okay, he's going to false step off the line of scrimmage because he knows that this route, okay, is with before depth. He knows he has the freedom to operate. Okay, once I let it roll, clear this out. Okay, so check out the number 2 receiver at the top. Okay, Justin Jefferson is going to drop step. Okay, he's going to drop step, make sure. Okay, he's going to drop step to make sure that he is getting to he's square to his landmark, which is the most critical thing in this. Okay, because you don't, at the end of the day, and as I mentioned previously, okay, you don't want to run a flat route looking like this. Okay, all it's going to do is cloud the concept completely. Okay, so he wants to be width before depth, okay, and then working his flat route. He will gain his depth. It's just going to happen later, okay, in the progression. Again, who knows what's going on in the progression here, 1 to 2, whatever the case may be, okay, but he knows he has to jab in to go out. He has to drop step. He has to be square to where he's going in order to be in a position to not get too far up the field and drift, because you don't want to drift on this route because this dude can come down easily. Okay, all those different things. Depends on whatever concept you have called. All right, and as you can see, they work the flat route. Okay, they're able to get a completion. Okay, with the defenders, all right, not up in their grill. Okay, so that really concludes everything that I have to say here in this. In the 5 scenarios, you're always free to operate. I guess I'll leave it open to any questions that you guys may have. Any questions? I have a few other clips I could show, but again, that's up to you guys if you want to see anything else. But anybody at all. Okay, if there's no questions, it's completely fine. Alrighty, I think I'll leave it at that. I appreciate everybody coming in, and I hope everybody has a great day.